What if I told you you could have the best program, the best nutrition plan, the absolute best work ethic, and you could still be missing out on 90% of your gains in the gym because you are not sleeping? I would not be exaggerating. Sleep is absolutely core to making progress in the gym, whether that's losing weight, gaining muscle, getting stronger. You absolutely need to sleep. And I'm willing to bet most of you in my audience are not getting enough sleep. So today we are going to go over all of the reasons why sleep is key to progress in the gym. And I'm hopefully going to be able to give you some tips that have helped me in the past. Obviously, they're not helping me right now. I just had a baby, so all my sleep is out the window, but hopefully these tips will help you lay a solid sleep foundation for continued progress in the gym, because it is absolutely key and a lot of you are missing out. First up, we have to talk about sleep's role in recovery. Your muscles, your strength, just general progress is not actually made in the gym when you are training. In fact, when you are training, you're beating yourself up, hopefully intelligently enough so that when you recover, you can then increase fitness and reap the rewards of your hard work in the gym. If you are just beating yourself down in the gym over and over and over again, and you're not giving yourself a chance to recover, you're never going to make progress. And sleep is priority number one in the recovery process. If you are not sleeping and sleeping very well on a consistent basis, you are missing out on the release of growth hormone, which in the name indicates growth. If you are not getting the sweet release of growth hormone and you're not supplementing with exogenous growth hormone, then you are missing out on the body's signaling for repair and growth. Thus, your muscles will not grow. It's a one-to-one issue. And when is growth hormone at its peak? It is during deep wave sleep, which is the fourth in the sleep cycles, meaning you have to have a volume of sleep. So you can't just go to sleep for, 2 to 3 hours, 4 hours, wake up, be like, I'm good. I hit my growth hormone for the week. I'm going to be fine. No, that's not how it works. You have to go through a couple sleep cycles, going through light sleep, REM sleep, deep sleep, to get an adequate amount of growth hormone for your goals. The majority of human beings on this planet need 7 to 9 hours of sleep, because it is during those sleep cycles, which take an hour to an hour and a half in adults, that we get the growth hormone release that we need in order to recover. And if you are not hitting an adequate amount of cycles throughout the night, you're not hitting an adequate amount of growth hormone. Go to sleep. From one hormone, growth hormone, to another, cortisol, now we're going to talk about an incredibly negative effect of lack of sleep. Your body has systems in place to continue to operate even in a low sleep environment. But long term, that can be incredibly negative for your continued growth, because your body is going to start to release cortisol, which is the stress hormone, that is actually going to help you perform during your day, because evolutionarily we needed to continue to move even if we weren't sleeping. But in a modern context, why do we need to move? Just so we can get up and send some emails and have the cortisol spiking, removing almost all of the benefits of the training that we've been doing? It's not as important to us in a modern context. And hopefully in a modern context, you're able to get the sleep that you need. You're not hunting on the savannah and afraid that a lion is going to absolutely maul you in your sleep. We are in an environment now with modernity that we should be able to be getting this sleep, and we're rejecting it for no reason. Not to mention that the release of cortisol and excess cortisol have been linked to midsection body fat gain, which is probably not what you're looking for. It is imperative that we get enough sleep in order to keep hormones balanced, because it's not just growth hormone, it's not just cortisol, but it's also testosterone, which is important not just for my male audience, but also for my female audience. Testosterone plays a key role in muscle growth, and when we are sleep deprived chronically, we are losing out on testosterone production. Cortisol is spiking, testosterone is dipping. We are not getting the benefits of the training that we're doing. Imagine going to the gym and putting forth great effort and then not reaping any of the benefits because we are missing out on the easiest part of the process. So we've talked about the recovery aspect of sleep deprivation, but what about the actual training aspect of sleep deprivation? I don't know about you, but there's only so much caffeine I can pump into my body before the sleep deprivation catches up on my actual gym performance and I start missing out on even making good progress in the gym. If you're chronically sleep deprived, you are not going to be able to put out the effort that you need to on a consistent basis to continue to make progress. It's just not humanly possible. Maybe there's superheroes out there that are able to do it, and if you're that, congratulations. But for the 99% of you who are not superheroes, myself included, we need to be sleeping, or we are not going to be able to actually perform in the gym, and the cycle will continue to repeat itself. There is nothing better than the feeling of walking into the gym well rested, maybe slightly caffeinated, and absolutely feeling like everything is light, that everything is moving well. Those sessions come around maybe, for me, maybe once every month when I actually do get my sleep under control. Imagine if we could do it consistently. We slept consistently, we trained consistently, and then we never have to worry about the issues of sleep deprivation. It is a goal to strive towards. Okay, folks, enough doom and gloom about how terrible sleep deprivation can be. Now we're going to talk about some actionable tips that will hopefully help you sleep a little bit better and in turn get stronger, gain muscle, lose fat, all the great stuff that we've been talking about. Now, I'm going to be a little bit like Red Skull in the Avengers. I will ferry you to a treasure that I myself cannot attain because, like I said, I have a newborn. I have been dealing with garbage sleep for about 4 months, but I still think I have some wisdom that I can offer here because before I had a new baby, I was working so hard to get my sleep under control. As someone who has dealt with insomnia in the past, just not a great sleeper in general, I have done a lot of things to try and improve my sleep that I think will translate to your sleep as well. First, and I think honestly most importantly, is setting a consistent schedule. We are humans, and human biology is one that operates on consistency. Most of the time, we want to be doing similar things over and over again. The big issue I was running into was that during the work week, totally fine. Waking up 6 a.m., tired, super tired, fatigued, drinking a lot of caffeine, going to bed 11 p.m. I was staying consistent Monday through Friday, but then Saturday and Sunday came around. I'm sleeping till 10. I'm staying up till 3 playing whatever video game was on my mind at the time, or just watching a bunch of garbage TV for no reason. When I started to engage in consistency across all 7 days of the week was when I started to feel better day by day. So instead of allowing my schedule to go absolutely haywire on the weekends, I tried to stay within an hour of a wake window. So maybe I wasn't waking up at 6, but I was waking up at 7 and I was going to bed between 10 and 11:30. And that allowed my body to say, okay, around 9, man, this is usually the time that we start to get tired and go to sleep. And it does work like that, but it takes time. It took me about a month to get the schedule on track. But I think that if you can consistently fall asleep within an hour, wake up within an hour, you are going to notice a change in daily energy that is so impactful that you may not be needing to reach for the 4th Celsius of the day. Instead, you're naturally feeling alert and awake because you are actually getting the sleep that you need. My second tip may not be as important as the first tip, but it is incredibly important, and that is optimizing your sleep environment. You want it to be cool, you want it to be dark, and you want it to be relatively soundless. Now, this may be difficult if you have a partner or if you live in a busy city like I do. There's going to be some noise pollution. There's going to be some light pollution, but we want to work towards as ideal of an environment as possible. So for me, that meant getting blackout blinds so that it's as dark as possible, getting a sound machine so that instead of random noise pollution, I'm utilizing noise as a way to kind of keep everything consistent. Those rain sounds, they hit very well, folks. There's great YouTube videos with black screens that you can just throw on your phone, rain sounds for about 2 hours. Hopefully you're asleep by then and it shuts itself off. Fantastic way to control the noise environment in your room. But it is so important to keep these things consistent, to optimize them to the best of your ability so that you can get the best sleep possible and continue to build that routine. The last tip is going to hurt a little bit. For my caffeine lovers, I'm in that group as well. I am a caffeine junkie. I mean, I have an empty Celsius on my desk right now. Here's the thing. Caffeine is a great drug. It's fantastic. It'll give you the boost that you need. However, we want to be utilizing caffeine. We don't want caffeine to be utilizing us. Something that I think a lot of people deal with, especially the younger crowd amongst us. I mean, I'm 30, so I'm not super old yet, right? Please, is caffeine dependence. We get into a vicious cycle of not sleeping enough, so then we have caffeine, and because we have caffeine later in the day, we can't go to bed on time, and so the cycle continues. It's just an unfortunate situation, and the only real way to get out of it is to kind of go cold turkey for a little bit, which absolutely sucks. The caffeine headaches are terrible, but once you can break the necessity of having caffeine late in the day and start to naturally get tired earlier in the evening, you'll be able to then not have to reach for another caffeine supplement later in the day. And so you'll be able to get on a more natural, quote unquote, schedule. I know it sucks. Caffeine's incredible. I'm right there with you, but it really does mess with the natural processes of sleep, especially when you're consuming caffeine later in the day. So my third and final tip is find a way to make caffeine work for you without being dependent on it and it causing you to spiral out of control. One last thing that I think is really important and kind of neglected in the discussions on sleep is that if you are not chronically sleep deprived, but instead you've just had a bad night, don't go into your next day of training assuming everything's going to be terrible. Like I said earlier, the body has mechanisms that will allow you to still perform even in a sleep deprived state. When we get into trouble is when it becomes chronic, when it becomes long term. So don't automatically assume, oh man, I didn't sleep well last night. Let me bring my RPEs down, or let me sandbag a session. No, that's excuse making, and that there's no place for that. We still can put forth great effort even if we had a garbage night of sleep, but we want to do everything we can to make sure that we catch up the next couple of days and that we consistently have good sleep. So just something I wanted to touch on that I don't think a lot of people talk about when they're talking about the sleep discussion in terms of the gym. I know it's not super sexy to talk about sleep, but it is one of the most important things you can do to set yourself up for long-term success in the gym. And the sooner you understand that and put that into action, the better you're going to be. So here I am ranting to a camera about the importance of sleep, because I can't do it right now. So hopefully you will be able to do it and experience great gains in the gym. Now that you know how to sleep, you can click on this video right here to learn how to utilize your newfound sleep prowess to increase your bench press. I know you want to. Everybody wants a huge chest and a nice bench press. Thank you so much for watching. It means a lot. Like, subscribe, join the Discord. We will see you in the next one. Get strong and stay strong.